بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Okay, question. I attended a dentist appointment. Well done. So, right, during my fast, some liquid went down. Okay, is this turning out to be a novel? Some liquid went down my throat as they washed my mouth. Is my fast broken? Right, so interesting. It's even got the attention of Abu Muawiyah. I think we know where this who incidentally is wiping his mouth. So the question, look, having a dentist appointment is good. Cleaning your teeth is good. All right, but so far so good. During these chapters of the novel, the protagonist is playing quite well. It's with the whole liquid going down the throat issue that problems arise. So, okay, first of all, right, now Allah teaches us in the Quran, وَلَيْسَ عَلَيْكُمْ جُنَاحٌ, right, that you do not have, like Allah says, فِيمَا أَخْطَأْتُمْ بِهِ, okay, in issues that where you make a mistake, where things are done by mistake, there is no sin or no blame upon you, okay. That people shouldn't think, that you shouldn't kind of think, oh my God, you know, I've made a, لَكِنْ مَا تَعَمَّدَتْ قُلُوبُكُمْ, but what your heart intended. Okay, what the kind of thing, as in this question, that you were intending to do, and then Allah follows up by saying, وَكَانَ اللَّهُ غَفُورًا رَحِيمًا. Just in case, you know, you still have a sense of, oh no, that feeling. Allah is saying, but Allah is all merciful. He's, you know, I mean, He's all forgiving. I mean, these things are not something to be taken to account by, okay. So where a person, another similar thing to this is if a person was, let's say you're rinsing your mouth, and whilst you're rinsing your mouth, you accidentally swallow the water. Now, by the way, there is a difference here. The difference is one is forgetful and one is accidental. Forgetful is different. Forgetful is, I forgot I was fasting, I picked up a drink, knocked it back. A few drinks later, I found myself still at the bar. And chucked out of the AA meetings. It's not something to joke about. Right. What does Allah say in the Quran? Tell them, bruv. What does Allah say? Munafiqeen, these people are. Right, so the thing is, you see, that was by the way, I was trying to mimic anyway, just in case you're wondering what's the I need my towel on my head to give the full effect. But the point is that there is forgetful, where you forget that you're fasting and you drink something or you eat something. The hadith says, فَإِنَّمَا سَقَاهُ اللَّهُ فَإِنَّمَا أَطْعَمَهُ اللَّهُ وَسَقَاهُ, Allah gave him something to eat and drink. And then there is accidental, where you know you're fasting. You don't intend to kind of drink anything. You're just rinsing your mouth. Or somebody could be swimming. They know they're fasting. They could be at a dentist. Although, if you end up drinking I don't know what you'd be drinking. Right, but the point is, if you are wherever, you know you're fasting, but you accidentally drink something, you swallow it. In this case, this is called saho. Okay, the other is called nisyan, forgetfully. Forgetful is separate. That has a hadith. Amd, intentional, has a clear ruling that it breaks the fast. Saho, accidental, is in the middle. Do you put it with this category of forgetfulness, it's okay, or do you put it with the intentional and therefore have to make it up? Now, the thing is that a lot of the ulama, they did say I mean, and Ibn Rushd, once again, in the Bidayat al-Mujtahid, has a good discussion on this, once again, explaining why this disagreement, because of the lack of clear hadith, or the lack of clear evidence to speak about accidental. There's evidence about forgetful, there's evidence about intentional, but about accidental there isn't. So where do you place it? And this is why it became a matter of debate amongst the scholars. The Shafi'iyya, the Hanabila were very clear in putting this with the forgetful. This question, they didn't see this to be, all ulama accept it's not blameworthy, but they didn't see this as, now you had to make this fast up. With them was Imam Awza'i. You also had Ishaq ibn Rahaway as well. And in my understanding, although the Malikiyya and the Hanafiyya said a person should do qada, in my understanding they did that out of trying to be very like a precautionary step, out of ihtiyat, trying to be kind of uber cautious in saying, well, still, it's... I don't think it was really something, because many of them, they accepted the forgetful, even though technically, okay, Imam Malik's fatwa is there about the forgetful as well, but many of the later Malikiyya did accept the forgetful. The Hanafiya accepted the forgetful. If you drank forgetfully, they say even though technically something's still been swallowed, you've consumed a nutrition, yet your fast is still okay. So why not with the accidental? And Allah says, that لَكِنْ مَا تَعَمَّدَتْ قُلُوبُكُمْ, it's what you intentionally violate that counts. Okay. Now these are the things. So I think really in this question, and when you look at other masail of things unintentional, like, and I spoke earlier on about even in the Maliki madhab about swallowing remnants between your teeth, even intentional. As I quote in some of the other questions, Ibn Habib saying that, look, it doesn't, small pea-sized things between your teeth do not violate the fast. What is also interesting is things like blood, bleeding. If you were bleeding from the mouth, both the Malikiyya and the Hanafiya accept that even if you swallowed that, as long as it wasn't profuse bleeding, you weren't profusely bleeding, but there was a certain amount of blood. And Ibn Qaddah from the Malikiyya says, and Ibn Shas as well, that look, if a person, Ibn Qaddah in his Masail says that if there was blood coming out in the mouth and a person, hatta majjahu, he says majjahu hatta biyadda, until like the person starts to kind of almost like salivate along with, like mix it with saliva until it kind of gets diluted. And a person swallowed that, he says, la shay alayhi, there's nothing. And the Hanafiya, same thing, they say, small amounts of blood that mixes in with the saliva and it gets swallowed. They say, that there's no yu'fa anhu, it's forgiven. It's not an issue. So you see here that in my understanding, these madhabs, when they said a person makes up the fast for accidental, in my understanding, they were being like uber kind of cautious. I don't believe personally that a person has to make up. In this question, a person has to make up the fast if he accidentally swallowed something. Because I would see it more in line with the forgetful. As Allah says, وَلَيْسَ عَلَيْكُمْ جُنَاحٌ فِي مَا أَخْطَأْتُمْ بِهِ. There is no blame whatsoever upon you. And I would see that to mean, well, if there is no blame whatsoever, then you shouldn't have to make it up. And it wasn't intentional. And if the forgetful one is forgiven, then the accidental, min babi awla, is more deserving to be, since it was an accident. So that's my understanding on that.